I am so excited today for you guys. I have a very special guest, an individual actually that I knew from high school, but we'll probably get into that story later. But most importantly, for every single one of you guys who are watching now, in the credit repair aspect of things comes the building of the business credit. So I got the opportunity to interview what I consider, he'll be probably a lot more humble when his time comes, but who I consider an expert in the small business arena with regards to obviously checking accounts and so forth, as well as business. We're going to ask a few questions that'll help me with some understanding. So I do have my pen, I do have my piece of paper because I will be taking notes as well with regards to asking questions and so forth concerning business banking. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection companies. Over the last 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit. Now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. So, the person that I will be bringing in today is a good friend of mine by the name of Brandon Jensen. Brandon Jensen's from North Island Credit Union currently right now. And quickly, Brandon, if you can, just give everybody a brief synopsis of who you are, what it is that you do, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Jermaine. I've watched your podcast. I will watch it pretty religiously. So glad to be a guest with you today. But yeah, again, Brandon Jensen. I am VP of Business Banking here at North Island Credit Union. Everything small business. For a credit union, we do business banking. When compared to our peers in the credit union space, North Island Credit Union really does business banking well. We take it very seriously. I've been a career credit union guy and in the business banking space for the last 10 years or so.
Awesome, awesome. So, just to start off, just to make it sort of kind of easy with regards to everything, just starting out. So, if I owned a business, what do I
hmm
actually need with regards to opening up a checking account at your great bank?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, for North Island Credit Union specifically, we have that exclusivity of credit union membership. It sounds very exotic. People are like, "What's the difference, credit union and bank?" But we give you that credit union membership, really without the barriers of some of the other credit unions that have strict barriers to membership. For North Island Credit Union specifically, we are an open charter, meaning anyone can join, anyone who lives, works, or worships in San Diego, Orange County, or Riverside County. And to open an account, you just really need your identification for your business owners, and then however your business is formed, whether it's a sole prop and you have your sole proprietorship and you have your fictitious business name, or you're a corporation, you've got your articles of incorporation, or you're an LLC, you've got your articles of organization. You bring those entity docs in, and we'll get you set up with a business account.
Awesome, awesome. So, is there like a bare minimum with regards to the total amount that you actually have to have in order to open up a checking account? What's the bare minimum amount that I can pick to actually open up the account if I have all my articles and information with regards to
Yeah,
me?
if you Yeah, great. If you come in on day one with everything ready to go, we have a $200 opening deposit, but we do have a fee free with e-statements account that requires no average daily balance. So if you come in and make an opening deposit, there is no requirement to keep a certain dollar amount in that account for a fee free account.
If your credit score is in the fours, the fives, or sixes, chances are you need credit repair. Down below is a 20-minute free consultation with me. Let's assess where you're at, what your goals are, and what we can do to help you get from where you are to where you need to be. The 700 Club. Also, down below is a free letter bundle. Down there, you'll get a goodwill letter, a cease and desist letter, as well as a pay to delete letter. Absolutely for free. Opt in, get that information, it'll set it up, and then be on the lookout. Come here soon. I will be doing a debt negotiator pros with the name I think I'm going to call it, but this is going to teach you how to negotiate your debt, how to save a lot of money with regards to that, when the best time to call with regards to negotiating your debt, and much more. Awesome. So the next question I have for you is, in a general stance of things, what makes a credit union better than, I guess, I don't want to say regular bank, let's say a public bank?
Yeah, I always say this. I get this question a lot, and I always try to simplify and say the similarities are the best similarities, and the differences are the best differences. So where credit unions are similar to a bank is they're both federally insured, up to $250,000 per entity, which is very similar to banks. Banks have the FDIC. Credit unions have the sister program NCUA, still insured by the federal government up to $250,000. That's been a hot topic lately. And in the same respect, both banks and credit unions offer all types of consumer, residential, business lending and deposit products. Where credit unions and banks differ is primarily at a bank there are stockholders, there is chairman of the board who is due via dividend some of these profits. With a credit union, you are the owner. As a member of the credit union, we even call your checking and savings accounts shares and share draft accounts. Those are your shares of membership. You, as a credit union member, you own the institution that you bank with. Whereas, as I mentioned, in a bank, profits they'll funnel into the pockets of shareholders for a good quarter. For credit unions, we're nonprofit, so we don't call the bottom line profit. We call it surplus. Any of that surplus is funneled into the community to either expand branch network or to pass those dividends on to you by way of better finance rates.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so in a nutshell, I've always said that typically with the credit unions, it's more of a family-based, family-owned and thing. They're not owned. It's not publicly traded, so the money is not basically solely on those stockbrokers or the people who own the actual stocks making them money. It's actually you as an individual, and that's why you guys are able to give the great credit lines and better interest rates and so forth. Because typically, how you're going to make money is off of the consumers and the money that they put inside of the banks. The next question that I have for you, which is something big, I've been asked this from a lot of people with regards to it, and you know what? In all honesty, I didn't know, and so now we have the professional here. We can ask them. There's a lot, Brandon. There's a lot of things that are coming out online where people are saying 50K no docs,
Mm.
right? And so I know with credit unions, it's a little different. A lot of times they're talking about the public banks or the bigger banks. But my question to you is, if I came inside of a North Island Credit Union, started my business account, and I only had the $200 deposit with regards to opening up the checking account, and now I wanted to look at building some type of business credit, what would be the steps with regards to that if I'm a brand new business, so I can't really prove any tax returns or anything as far as my income goes?
Yeah, it's interesting. The quickest path to conventional business financing is going to be open, operating for a period of 2 years or greater, and to be profitable. For us, and I'll talk to you about the no doc piece in a second.
Okay.
When there is shorter um, operating history, I guess you could say. We do have programs that we can leverage, such as the SBA. North Island Credit Union is a preferred lending partner with the SBA. So if there are mitigating factors that say, hey, they've only been in business so long, but they've been in this industry for X number of years, or they bought this firm from seller and they worked there for 10 years. If there's extenuating circumstances, we can partner with the SBA. And then bottom line, if a business just truly is not conventionally bankable because they opened yesterday. We do like to partner with third parties like Accessity, which is formerly Axion, that kind of focuses on startup lending. And then we always try to give our insight as advisors, not just as business bankers, but really it's a long term play for us. So we try to focus on that financial literacy, making sure that maybe someone that comes in on day one who's not ready for conventional financing, uh, giving them the tools and the education piece to get them on the right track to be conventionally bankable. Just like you do with Clear and Strategic, Jermaine. So on that topic, again, we do have a couple of programs where we have loans that are under $50,000 that are technically no documentation, but they're not, at least at North Island, tailored towards brand new businesses. In those cases, we would probably focus on either a third party, look to see if the SBA is a fit, or really give you a path to get on that track. There are some larger banks out there where if you've got a good credit score, they've got a much deeper and robust risk appetite. Your Chases, Wells, B of A's, where a credit score can possibly get you, a line tied to your personal credit score. For us, we mostly fully underwrite because it's an opportunity to get to know you, deepen that relationship, and kind of identify service gaps in your business model.
Awesome. So the next question I have for you is it important to have a relationship with your local bank if you do have a business bank account, or does it really matter? Is it looked at as, at the end of the day, they're just going to look at the docs, or does sometimes a person who you have a personal relationship with, you're a little more lenient with regards to certain types of loans and so forth based on that relationship? Um, and then again, or does it even matter?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I think probably the most crucial of the topic today, at least on my side. It is absolutely essential to have a personal relationship with your banker. This really is your business credit. Day one, a relationship with a business banker is going to be your business credit. Not only are you going to be extended credit, you're going to go back to that banker in the future and say, hey, I'm growing. I need additional things. Well, you paid us on time before. Everything was paid off. Of course, we're going to give you another a loan or another finance facility. You know, not only in the space of credit, like lines of credit or credit cards or commercial real estate, but sometimes when your business grows, this happens a lot in with companies that have inventory or manufacturing firms where they have to buy certain materials to complete jobs. One day, you're not going to want to go buy the lumber all at once, cash up front every time. You're going to want to you're going to want some of these vendors to put you on terms, allow you to start paying them 30 days after. And so that's when business credit and specifically your relationship with your business banker becomes crucial, because as you start wanting just general terms of repayment with vendors out there, they're going to say, well, give me some references. And this is the true establishment of business credit. They will reach out to your banker, and hopefully you have a personal relationship with your banker who will complete that documentation. Yes, he's paid two loans off with me. He's got an operating line of credit with this much capacity. He keeps X number of dollars in here. Absolutely put them on terms. You can trust this person. So that relationship does go beyond your point of contact. Now, shameless plug that I'll insert here, the bigger the bank, and the smaller you are, or the smaller fish you are in that pond, it can be growingly difficult to be more than a number within that institution. So that's why I'm a big proponent, a champion of the credit union movement, because we are very hands-on, high-touch, personalized service where you can call, you can text your banker. My clients, they're always speaking with me, and I do these references or re-extensions of credit based on our relationship all the time.
So the last question I'll ask you, Brandon, is this. What do you think is a question you're not asked, but you think should be asked from a small business owner coming in to, obviously bank with your great establishment?
I would say, like a lot of contractual type instruments, the devil is always in the details. So, questions are good, but to put you on a path of kind of what questions to answer, um, business lending, specifically business loans, they are different than consumer vehicle loans or your residential mortgage. There's different disclosures, there's different guidelines, there's different parameters, there's different terms, all that stuff. So, a couple of things when you're getting into the finance space, you want to know things like, am I personally guaranteeing this loan? So, obviously, you want to get the credit in your business name, but most institutions, until you get to a certain size, they're going to want to drill down past that entity barrier to the warm body, that person that is operating the company, that personal credit score. So, am I personally guaranteeing this loan? A second thing is a lot of business loans will have covenants. This is big for sizable operating lines of credit. You want to know what the credit union or bank expects from you on an annual basis, or a biannual basis, however often they're reviewing your line of credit, because business loans aren't always like a car loan. You get it and you're good to go. No, they'll look at it on an ongoing basis to make sure there's no financial deterioration. So you want to know, what are the covenants of this loan? What does this bank or credit union expect me to show them on an annual basis so I get to keep my line? Do they want to see a certain net worth? Do they want to see a certain amount of liquidity? Are there other financial ratios that they want to see improved? And sometimes, specifically with a line of credit, you'll have a resting covenant, meaning you use it when you need it, but it's expected to be paid back down to zero at some point, because you're doing the job, you're buying all the stuff, you're paying your people, but eventually you get paid for that job. You want to pay it down to zero, so we see that line of credit revolve. And then finally, you kind of want to know, what are you pledging as far as collateral goes for this loan or this line. In many cases, even with an unsecured line or term loan, you want to make sure, find out rather, whether or not the institution is filing a lien on all business assets with the UCC. Oftentimes, even unsecured loans, as an abundance of caution, banks or credit unions will file a UCC1 filing on all of your business assets, whether you have assets or you're just intellectual property business. So you really want to know, who's on the hook for the debt. What is the bank or credit union expecting to see from me over time? And what am I pledging, regardless of the type of loan, whether it's secured or unsecured or not?
Awesome. So I learned something today. One of the things, as a small business owner, a lot of times, as that individual actually walking inside of the bank, and as some of you guys will actually do that, some of you guys are reviewing now, you open up the bank account, you get everything, and then it becomes like, all right, well, I have it, everything's set up, bye bye, and then you never communicate anymore. And one of the most important parts to understand is the communication aspect, number one, so that way you can get a feel for the banker, and the banker can definitely get a feel for you. And then number two, what is required, right? With regards to a lot of this stuff, whether you're getting credit cards, a line of credit, you're getting a loan for the business, whatever the circumstance may be, there is questions, I'm pretty sure, that I, as an individual, if I was banking with Brandon and I asked him, hey, all right, I got this line of credit, what do you guys like to see as far as payment, how it's paid back and balances and so forth, that'll actually take you completely to the next level with regards to stuff. And then you, obviously, Brandon, as the banker, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on this guy right here. He actually cares with regards to what's going on, versus, opening the bank account and then coming 4 years later and being like, hey, I'm ready for a loan. And you're like looking at everything. You're like, I don't even know who this guy is. I don't remember him. And the importance of that relationship, which makes a lot of sense. You're not just a number like at big banks. I'll tell you one thing. I've been at big banks, and there's no way you can remember anyone, let alone them remembering what's going on, until obviously they pull up your information. And still then, it's just like a number. One of the things about credit unions is you feel like you're part of that family. And as Brandon has expressed, that is very key, probably one of the most important parts on top of obviously opening up the account. So, Brandon, if people want to get in contact with you and open up a checking account with you, where do they need to go?
Yeah, we try to have hands-on, personalized service, but we have a few modern accoutrements as well. So I do have an email to get things started. Some people like to go into the branch. We have 24 branches in Southern California. So ccu.com. We are North Island Credit Union, a division of California Credit Union, not to be confused with California Coast Credit
Host,
Union.
right?
But ccu.com does have a branch locator if that's more your style. If you'd like to reach out or you have just general questions, want to get started, even if it's on a consultative basis, you can certainly email me. It's my first initial last name, B Jensen. That's Jensen. B is for Brandon at ccu.com. And then I have a phone number for those of you that still like to ring it up old school as well. It's 858-769-7375.
All that information I'll definitely put down in the description. I'll have his information. It'll be under Brandon Jensen, North Island Credit Union. Questions that you may have with regards to banking, as well as obviously opening up a checking account with him. He can explain any more information with regards to that. And that's obviously for those of you who are local here down in San Diego. But like he said, they had 24 branches, I believe he said it was, up and down the coast. So that'll work out with regards to that. So, like I always state, I'm going to be interviewing more professionals to help you guys out with your journey as far as credit repair goes, as well as business credit goes. I was very, very happy that Brandon took his time out of his day. Like you said, he's the VP there. I'm pretty sure he's busy doing all kinds of things. And to give some information and a little more understanding when it comes to business banking. If you guys have any questions, like I always state, put them down in the comment section. And as always, you be great.